Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh,
what is happening
Don't
here?
you want me, baby? Yep, it's our bump today, dude. Human League. You remember Human League from the 80s? It was like two dudes and two
League and Level 42 and all of those guys, but this has nothing to do with them. This is Human Lee. Remember Prem and the team and Birch and those guys over at Human League? Remember them?
That makes so much more sense than Human League. That makes a lot more sense. Humanly, of course.
Yes, Humanly. So Humanly recently dropped a release which says, quote, meet every candidate anytime with an AI interviewer, end quote. And so we asked Prem, the co-founder and CEO at Humanly, to tell us why they chose to tackle AI interviewing when there's so much out there to tackle with regard to AI. And this is what he told us.
The barrier to apply to a job has been dramatically reduced. It's very easy to apply to a job now through easy apply, quick apply. What's happening is that volume is not being met with the ability and the tooling for hiring teams to engage with it at scale. So we're reduced to using shortcuts to determine who we spend human time on. Really taking two pieces of paper, a resume and a job description, and using tools to match keywords is how we decide who we're spending human time on. And to me, that just does not work. So in high volume hiring, about 95% of job applicants that apply are not hearing back. Or if they're a strong fit and they did get a look, they're waiting a week to hear back. So really, we're not talking about AI and video interviewing as an option versus talking to a human. It's really an option versus being ignored or waiting a week. What we feel is that by scaling your ability to have a conversation with everyone, you're going to scale your ability to find the most qualified job candidate.
Makes so much sense, dude. Like lazy apply, but the bots are coming to apply to your jobs. You're already seeing it now. You need a way to manage that tsunami of candidates, and Humanly has sort of cracked the code here with helping you have a human touch, but also keep the Autobot army at bay a little bit. I love it. Companies are going to love it too.
The Level 42 and Transformers Autobot. That's great. So G.I.
Joe's next, man. G.I. Joe is next. Don't you worry.
Fundar the Barbarian. To me, Prem outlines the choices, which I love. A black hole or AI interviewing, right? Which is fair, knowing that for decades, the bulk of job applicants were chucked into a black hole and heard nothing, which negatively impacted your brand and the prospect, the opportunity of that person ever working or spending money with your brand is diminished greatly. So it feels like, Prem understood the assignment on this one. Plus, going further down the engagement rabbit hole, you can also gather information through interviewing to create even more robust profiles on these candidates, meaning maybe they're not a great fit for this position, but they might be a great fit for other open positions. And that just makes more sense. So instead of kicking hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of applicants into a black hole, AI engagement is better than no engagement.
Yeah. Chad, I've been told that I have a robust profile, but I think that's a totally different scenario on this one. Now let's talk about bias, because we know a lot of companies are worried about bias. You put all these machines in control, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria happens. I'm betting that Prem and the guys at Humanly and the gals at Humanly have an answer for that question.
Yep.
Let's check it out.
Bias is an important piece here. And in many cases, bias can be more pronounced as a human problem. Certainly, AI systems need to be audited and can bring about problems themselves. But what we find in our data across about 4 million candidate conversations and interviews, including those done by humans. On the human side, one data point we found was that junior female candidates were getting less time to even speak on Zoom interviews. They were more likely to be interrupted. If it's a Seattle candidate interviewed by a Seattle recruiter, there is more time spent on rapport building, about 1.2 minutes more, which led to positive sentiment towards a candidate before you even start the interview. Even the speed at which I'm speaking right now is biased against candidates where English is a second language. So really what we feel one of the ways to solve for this is adding structure, ensuring that everyone has the same anatomy of their interview. Ensuring questions are standardized. Even the language that's used, not using ageist language, not using language that's gender biased. And then on top of that, making sure that any AI vendor you're using is audited by a third party. So really, if you do those things, which we are providing via our AI video interviewer, you're going to have a conversation that is not just more effective, but it is less biased and more standardized.
So on this one, once again, humans are the problem. I mean, seriously, the Seattle example is spot on. Much like recruiters who interview someone from their school or their hometown, there's going to be personal bias that humans just can't help. So understanding the process helps debias. Standardizing it helps it even more, right? Now, it might make it harder for Biff to push those cool college and frat stories. But it's better for the organization in the long run.
Look at you pulling the 80s reference with the Biff Back to the Future. Dude, let's go to 7. This is some Jetsons. This is some Jetsons stuff. I love it. I love what we're seeing so far. You got to check out Humanly and what they're doing over there. But I have a question about trust. I know trust is a major issue with both sides of the equation. What did Humanly do around the trust question? Let's check that out.
Trust is a big deal here, particularly in solutions like AI that are non-deterministic. The last time I saw a technology that so many people wanted to use, yet so few people trusted, was when cloud computing hit. And this is a completely different ballgame with AI. Tideo did a study saying upwards of 80% of companies in the US want to use AI. 27% actually trust this thing. So this is a very important piece here. Really, what we found with the data is in our AI video interviewer conversations, the goal is not to make it feel as though to trick you into thinking you're talking to a human, but to make you feel comfortable that you're in an interview context. Generally, we are getting as measured by words per question that is answered by the candidate. Generally, we're hitting over 200 words per answer, which shows us that they're going out and they're talking, they're explaining, they're treating this as a real interview. So that is about the same amount of words, average words per response for human-to-human Zoom interviews. And it's much higher than you get in one-way video, much higher than you get in chat, much higher than you get in SMS. And the more words we get, as folks are answering these questions, the better our ability to score and match them and eventually get them to the right fit. So really, at the end of the day, we feel that to give everyone a look, you need to get into a two-way conversation with them, especially in high volume hiring, especially in early career hiring, where resumes, particularly if you don't have a lot of experience yet in your career, resumes look pretty similar to one another. A lot of generative AI is used to build the resume. You have to talk to people if you want to find the best hire for your role.
So the numbers of 80% of companies who want to use, we've seen this all over the press, right?
Yep.
80% of companies want to use AI, and only 27% of them actually trust the tech. So it's cool that Prem shared the words per answer example, right? 200 versus in an AI interview versus a real interview, which makes it similar. And it means people are comfortable enough to actually answer in their own way. Plus his comment, quote, to give everyone a look, you have to get into a two-way conversation, end quote. So many applicants don't even get the opportunity or the look, right? Mm-hmm. They don't get an opportunity to have a conversation because they're relegated to the black hole. So no solution is perfect. We all know that, but neither are humans in the black hole, which candidates have endured for decades. So that needs to go away. And I believe this and many other products that are out there now that are hitting the market are perfect answers to better candidate and recruiter experience.
Love it, Chad. And if you want to learn more, guys out there, go check it out. Get a demo of the new product. Very, very cool. For a lot of candidates, chatting, using the thumbs, using the keyboards isn't cutting it. They need some of that face to face, baby. Go check out humanly.io. Tell them Chad and Cheese sent you. Chad, until then, that's another bump in the can. We out.
We out.